Just will recall what we have learned in a previous class.
In this lesson, we will understand some basic
So before this, one more slide is shown.
Geometry is around us all the time.
So in the first slide, I just explained the meaning of geometry, children,
We
right?
would find that we walk in other examples where you notice we have a very long history with the knowledge of geometry. From after the flood,
So how this
the
geometry has come from the ancient time,
measuring land,
ancient Egypt until now, how it has improved, how we are applying this geometry in our
also use
daily life, we have explained in this slide.
and put it together in books called elements.
So this Euclid geometry is mainly brought up by Euclid. He's a Greek mathematician.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, Charan.
there was no notes of Euclid, ma'am.
Today I'm going to send. Today I'm going to send here. I
Okay,
said
ma'am.
you write axioms and postulates in your notebook. I said so. Those who have written it is good. Those who have not written,
we will learn about some
Okay,
of
ma'am.
the definitions in
today I'll
geometry
send.
that Euclid put in his
So
book.
few definitions we have discussed in our previous class. Definitions of all the 7 axioms and 5 postulates we have discussed. I told you people to go through this with some examples. Last class I've discussed.
So intricately involved in our day-to-day. In this lesson, we will understand some basic definitions in Euclid defined a point like this. A point is that which has no part. In simple words, a point is the smallest and the most fundamental aspect of geometry.
These are basic definitions we have discussed, children. Basic definitions like
shown by a dot.
So last class, basic definitions like a point, a line. A point is that which has no part. A line is a breadthless length. The ends of a line are points. The straight line is a line which lies evenly with the points on itself. The surface is that which has length and breadth only. Then the edges of a surface are lines. So with the pictures I've explained in the last class, a plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight lines on itself. These are the definitions we discussed in our previous class.
Everything we will learn from
Yes,
now
ma'am.
will be based on a point. A line.
These are definitions are there in a textbook page number 80 also, children.
Of points on itself. Which has length and breadth are lines.
These are the 7 definitions last class we have explained.
The surface appears to us with a straight line. It will be a such surfaces where the straight line evenly with the straight lines.
These are 7 definitions I've explained with some examples in the previous class. These 7 definitions are there in the textbook, children. First, you note down this one. I'll send today.
Some examples
Okay.
of planar surfaces
ma'am.
on blackboard. If you look at all the 7 definitions, you will notice
these are the 7 definitions we discussed in a previous class with some examples.
In this lesson, we will understand axioms that would help in understanding geometry better. What are axioms, you may ask? The general meaning of an axiom is a statement that is universally true and needs no proof. For example, we all know that most humans have one brain. We just know it's true and must be accepted. Similarly, Euclid assumed that some properties were true and did not have to be proved. He called these truths as axioms. These axioms are not restricted to geometry and can be applicable throughout mathematics.
So the only difference between Children, the only difference between the axiom and postulate is axioms
Hello
we
everyone. Now we know few
can use throughout the mathematics, means all the branches we are using axioms, but postulates only particular to geometry. This is difference of axioms and postulates, children. We discussed few examples also in the last class. We discussed examples, children, last class.
Yes, ma'am.
These examples we discussed in the last class, the children.
Yes, ma'am.
No, today I'm going to start with some examples. Last class, we discussed about only axioms and postulates. Once again, I'll repeat the 7 axioms which we have learned in a previous class. First axioms, things which are equal to same things are equal to one another. Second axiom, if equals are added to equals, the wholes are equal. Third axiom, if equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. Fourth one, things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Fifth one, the whole is greater than the part. Sixth one, things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. Seventh one, things which are halves of the same things are equal to one another. For all these things with some examples I showed through the video, children. So do anyone have any doubt with the axioms? Okay, next, Euclid's 5 postulates also we explained the previous class. First one, a straight line may be drawn from any point to any other point. Second postulate, a terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Third one, a circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. Fourth one, all right angles are equal to one another. Even these also with examples I have showed in the previous class. Next, fifth postulate. If a straight line falling on 2 straight lines, make the interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than 2 right angles, then the 2 straight lines, if produced indefinitely, meet on that side on which the sum of angles is less than 2 right angles. So these are the 5 postulates and 7 axioms we have discussed in our previous class. Today I'm going to explain with some examples and exercise questions. Okay, children? Let us take a first example. If A, B, C are 3 points on a line, you can have seen the picture, children. A, B, C are 3 points on a line, and B lies between A and C. B lies between A and C. Then prove that AB plus A to B plus B to C is nothing but as A to C. This we need to prove now. So I'll repeat once again. Here, this is the line. So A, B, C, all 3 points on the line. So we need to prove that this A to B and B to C, if we add, we have to get A to C. So shall we see the answer, what they're given? Am I clear? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's this we can apply? Fourth axiom. What's fourth axiom? They says things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Here
What is
AC
coincide?
coincide with AB plus BC. Am I clear, children? This A to C is coincide with sum of AB and BC. So I can apply for axiom 4. Things which coincide of one things are equal to one another. Anyone have doubt in this, some children? So AB and BC is another line, and A to C in one more line. Both if it coincide, so we are getting the result, that is nothing but as axiom 4. So we can deduct the result as AB plus BC is equals to AC. This is the
Now what is coincide?
one upon the other. That the fourth axiom we have given some 2 triangles they've taken. One yellow color triangle, one blue color triangle. They have kept one upon the other. So both angles, sides, so overlapping each other. So this
Okay.
says the axiom 4. The one example they've taken as a triangle.
Okay.
You remember, children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that was this thing. So
Okay.
AB plus AC, with that, if AC coincide with each other, then we are getting the required result. I've taken your textbook examples. First, I explain the example questions. Then I take the next one. In the solution, it has been assumed that there is a unique line passing through 2 points. We know that only one line can pass through with the 2 points. Next, this is the video last class I've showed. Once again, I'm showing.
Ma'am, can you send this again, ma'am, because it was not playing in the PPT.
Okay, dear, I'll send today. I'll send it. Already I've shared with Riddhi. Riddhi, if possible, will share with all the students this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you have a.
Can you construct an equilateral triangle from a line segment AB?
So here, what I'm going to explain here, children. Second example, they're asking us to prove that an equilateral triangle can be constructed on any given line segment. Here they are giving a line segment AB. Here they are giving line segment AB. They are asking us to prove to construct equilateral triangle from this line segment. So last class I've shown this one. Again, I'm repeating this one, children. This is an example 2 from your textbook. They're asking us to
How
prove.
can we do it? To construct the equilateral triangle, we have to find the third vertex other than A and B. For that, let's take a compass. We put the fixed point of compass on one of the points, say B. Now taking this line segment AB as the radius, we draw a circle with B as its center. Similarly, without changing the length of the compass, repeat the process by placing its fixed point on point A. Now we see that we have two circles with centers A and B, and both these circles intersect at these 2 points. So if we join points A and B to this point, we see that they are nothing but the
Here, A to C, if I point this as a C, A to C is a radius for the circle A as center, and B to C is a radius for the circle as center B. So AC and BC are the radii, children. Okay.
radii of the circles. And since the radii of both the circles are equal to each other and also equal to the length of side AB, we get an equilateral triangle here. We will get an equilateral triangle even if we join points A and B to this point here. Wasn't it interesting? Such knowledge of geometry was known to people from ancient times. Can you construct an equilateral triangle?
Any doubt, children, in
from a
this one?
line segment?
No, ma'am.
So
No, ma'am.
this is how the question was. Prove that an equilateral triangle can be constructed on any given line segment. Here the line segment has been given. Call this one end as A, the other end as B, and construct a circle. Okay, construct circle.
Think
So
about
those two
how we
circles
can
meet
do
at
it.
2 points. So they will form an equilateral
To
triangle.
construct the
Here the
equilateral
textbook.
triangle,
Here the textbook they're given complete
Yes, ma'am, in the
procedure how to do
textbook
it.
also it's given.
In the textbook they've given how to do the complete procedure. Have shown through the video how to do this one, how we are getting equilateral triangle. So do anyone have any doubt in this proving this equilateral triangle, children?
Oh, ma'am.
So shall we move to the next line? From these two facts, Euclid's axiom that things which are equal to same things are equal to one another. Here we proved AB is equal to AC. I'll show the picture, children, here. Yeah, if I call this as, okay, this point as C, here AB is equals to AC, then even this AB is equals to BC. AB is equals to AC and AB is equals to BC means, then I can say AB is equals to AC. I can say AC is equals to BC, children, because things which are equal to same things are equal to one another. If I take this particular triangle, this only this particular circle, this AB is equals to AC. If I take this circle, the B as center circle, if I take AB is equals to BC. So if from 1 and 2, I can prove that AB is equals to AC and AB is equals to BC. From these two equations, I can say AC is equals to
This
BC.
point here.
So from this, I can say
Wasn't it interesting?
things which are equal to same things are equal to one. The first axiom we can apply for this one, equilateral triangle. So anyone have doubt, children, in this one?
No, ma'am.
So now shall we move on to exercise 5.1? Exercise 5.1, what it says, which of the following statements are true and which are false? Give reasons for your answer. Am I clear? So we have to say only true or false with proper reason also. Only one line can pass through a single point. Where have we done?
True. True, ma'am.
True. So this is the thing we can take diagram. Only one line can.
Ma'am, a line is made up of single points, no, ma'am.
Ma'am, infinite lines can pass through a single point.
Yes, ma'am. Through the point.
See, I'm showing
Ma'am.
the figure, but still you are asking so many questions.
Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, they said that a line is made up of single points, no, ma'am, like breathless, only length was there.
Hmm?
Then only one line can pass through, no, ma'am. Okay, nothing, nothing.
Only one line. It is false. Check this one. So I'm showing the figure.
Infinite lines
I'm
can
showing the
pass.
figure. you to
Infinite
understand.
lines, ma'am.
Yeah, it is correct. Only one line can pass through a single point. Here I've taken a point P. So you can observe many lines here passing through this point. So these are the lines only I've drawn. You can draw infinitely many lines now here.
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
clear, children? What's the reason here? Infinitely many lines can pass through a point in a different direction. Here I've shown one line. That's why after seeing the figure also, few children are asking doubt. Here P is a point. P is a point. From this point, many lines have passed through. So this is the only few lines I've drawn. You can draw some more lines here. No, children? So infinite lines can be passed through. This is the answer. It is false. The reason is, so here with the picture I've explained here, you can write only reason if it is 1 mark, if it is 2 mark, give proper reason with the picture. So mark a point P on the plain paper. Okay. Using a sharp pencil and ruler, draw a line L passing through it as shown in the figure. Draw another line M. Here I did not give the names for this one. M passing through PC. Continuing this process, we can draw as many lines as we please, each passing through the point P. Thus, infinite number of lines can be drawn passing through a given point. Do anyone have any doubt this one?
Ma'am, we should write the steps also.
No, dear. Just for the understanding purpose, I have written here. I'll send the notes properly. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Anyone have doubt in this one?
No, ma'am.
So, but whenever you're writing, please draw this figure towards the right side of your notebook. Okay. So that you will understand in a very well. Only one line can pass through a single point is false because we can, infinitely many lines can pass through a single point. Am I clear, children?
Ma'am, someone is asking
Okay,
to unlock the meeting, ma'am.
It's already time up, Charan. So I waited for some more minutes, so I can't do it. Okay. So they have to be on time.
Okay, ma'am.
So they did not even mention the names. Who's that? So I can't do it, Charan.
Okay, ma'am.
It's Anmol, ma'am.
Yeah, we'll go for the next one. There are an infinite number of lines pass through two distinct points.
False.
False, ma'am.
Only one, ma'am.
False, ma'am. False.
According to axiom,
Only
ma'am.
one.
According
Four.
to
Axiom
Axiom 5.
not
5.1, ma'am.
not
Sorry, 1.
Axiom 5.1 here that is explained. Given two distinct points, there's a unique line that passed through them. So they've taken axiom and they've proved in a different way. Okay. So I'll show the picture. See here. A and B are two distinct points. According to this, there are an infinite number of lines can pass through two distinct points. So A and B are two distinct points. They are telling infinite number of lines can pass through these two lines. So you can see the picture. Is it for true or false, children?
False.
Through two
Ma'am,
distinct
False,
points,
ma'am.
only
False.
one
False.
line can pass through.
Statement is
Yes, because only
Ma'am, we should write this down, ma'am.
False, ma'am.
my dear child, I will send the notes that you write properly. Okay.
Yes,
Right
ma'am.
now you understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it is false because we know that
A point is that which has no part.
Unmute everybody, ma'am.
Ma'am, Anmol is saying please unlock.
Ma'am, but why false? Ma'am, I did not understand. Can you tell, ma'am, please?
yes. Before that, I just wanted to know who's making noise here. So I'll mute everyone here.
Okay, ma'am.
Here, A and B are 2 points. They are telling from these 2
Excuse
points,
me, Mamta ma'am.
infinite lines can pass through. So you can observe from A to B, only one line is passing through these 2 points. Am I clear?
Excuse me, Mamta ma'am.
Yes, Aishwarya.
Ma'am, Anmol is saying that he got disconnected. So can you unlock the meeting, ma'am?
Just tell him to join quickly. See, Sayukta asked me doubt that, ma'am, how can this
Yes,
one
ma'am.
to explain? Here A to B, you can observe here only one line is passing through this point A and B.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
They're asking through A and B, they are telling infinite number of lines will pass through.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So only one line is passing through this A and B. Am I clear, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is false. So reason I gave. I'll just explain this diagram of children. Mark 2 points A and B on the plane of paper. Fold the paper. This activity you can try at home. Fold the paper so that a crease passes through A as explained in part 1. An unlimited number of crease or lines can pass through only this point A. From this point A, many lines we can. In point B, we can draw many lines pass through at B. At A also, many lines can pass through at A. But through A and B, they're asking through two distinct points. They're asking. So again, fold the paper so the crease passes through B. Clearly, an unlimited number of creases can pass through at B. Even at B also, many lines are passing through. But what is their question? There are an infinite number of lines pass through both the points A and B. Now fold the paper in such a way that a crease or lines pass through both A and B. We observe that there is just one crease which pass through both A and B. Thus, through any point, 2 points in a plane exactly, one line can be drawn. I hope it's clear to everyone that point A, infinite number of lines will pass through at point A. Even at point B, infinite number of lines will pass through at B. But their question is, infinite lines will pass through both A and B, two distinct point. So this you can see only one line is passing through A and B. So it is false. Anyone have doubt here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Shall we move to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. A terminating line. What do you mean by terminating?
Ma'am,
Repeating.
which is never ending.
Repeating.
Repeating.
Never ending, ma'am.
No, ma'am. It is
Non-terminating means never ending. Terminating.
Repeating.
Yes.
ending.
A terminating line means what?
Ending line.
Ma'am, which ends.
Line segment. A line segment if you take. A terminating line is line segment. Okay, because there's a end points are that of a terminal line segment. What about for line? It is non-terminating.
Does not have an
Not ending.
Yes. Am I clear, children? I hope the Anmol has joined.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Meeting. Fine. A terminating line means a line segment can be produced indefinitely on both the sides. Yes, I can produce. Here A and B is a terminating line. So I am producing indefinitely in both the direction. True or false?
True.
Yes.
True, ma'am.
True, ma'am.
True,
True,
ma'am.
ma'am.
True,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
According to postulate,
Kusum, again if you're making noise, I'll just remove from the group, Kusum. So last warning to you. Note that we call a line segment nowadays is what Euclid's called terminating line. I told the children, terminating means it has some end, right? So in geometry, we can call this line segment as a terminating line. Am I clear? So in geometry, by a line, we mean that line in its totality and not a portion of it. A physical example of a perfect line is not possible since the line extends indefinitely in both the direction. Am I clear to everyone? Anyone have doubt in this one?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So terminating line can be produced indefinitely on both the direction. So it can be drawn or shown only on a paper. In practice, only portion of a line is drawn and arrowheads are marked at its two ends, indicating that it extends indefinitely in both directions. Next question. If two circles are equal, then their radii are equal.
True, ma'am.
True, ma'am.
True.
True, ma'am. True.
Yes, I'll show with the picture,
Ma'am,
children.
it is true.
On superimpose because which axiom you can use this one?
ma'am, postulate, no,
Third
ma'am.
one.
Fifth postulate.
And postulate too.
Fourth,
Two circles of equal area will have the same radii from the
Ma'am, this
because
one, the triangle.
two
Triangle thing,
circles are
ma'am.
Ma'am, axiom 1. That triangle, something triangle circle. Axiom 1.
axiom 1 also we can take, or things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. They are telling two equal circles. See, if two equal circles coincide each other, definitely their radii also equal. That also we can take. If two circles they said equal means even their areas are also equal. If areas are equals means then the radius also equal. See, on superimposing the region bounded by one circle on the other circle, the circle coincide, then the centers and boundaries coincide. Therefore, the radii will be equal. So, am I clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Here you can use axiom 4. Things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. This reason you can take. Now, here in the video, I've shown two triangles, children. Remember that? Two triangles of
Yes,
same
ma'am.
size, same angles. If you coincide each other, then two triangles are equal. That here two circles are equal. Here they give means even obviously the radius are equal. That also we can take. Am I clear? So what reason they are giving? Even the boundaries, region and the boundary both are coinciding each other. Definitely the radii will be equal. Next question. Next question. Here they gave figure, children. Fifth question. I'll share the figure here. Here the first one. If figure AB is equals to PQ, they said, and this PQ is equals to XY, then they are asking AB also XY.
True, ma'am. True, ma'am.
Yes, true. Which axiom this one?
First one, I guess.
First
Yes,
one.
of course.
Fourth axiom.
First
Axiom
axiom.
1, ma'am.
See here, AB is equal to PQ, PQ is equal to XY.
First
Now,
one,
obviously,
ma'am,
AB is equal to
first
XY.
axiom.
Things which are same thing to each other are equal to one another.
Ma'am, yes.
Axiom 1.
True.
Things which are equal to same things are equal to one another. AB is equal to PQ and PQ is equal to XY. Then AB is equal to XY, children.
XY.
Yes. So according to axiom 1, this is true because things which are equal to same things are equal to one another. Anyone have doubt in this question?
No, ma'am.
No,
ma'am.
Easy, no, children?
No, ma'am.
Yes,
Next,
ma'am.
I'm going to explain second main that is already what we have learned in a previous class. Same thing. Few definitions they've asked us to answer, children. Very good, Kusum. Give a definition for each of the following terms. Are there other terms that need to be defined first? What are they and how might you define them? So what you have learned in a previous class, same thing. Parallel lines. What do you mean by parallel lines?
The lines which
Line which
never
never
intersect
meet.
each
Ma'am, the
other.
lines
Which never meet each
never
other.
touch
the lines which never meet each other.
Yes, very good.
Even after
The line. Two straight
Never
lines
meet
which
each
have
other.
no point in common are said to be parallel to each other. So two lines are said to be parallel when, so with examples they're asking which proper explanation they're asking. So two lines are said to be parallel when they are not intersecting, they are coplanar in figure. The two lines L1 and L2 are parallel.
What is coplanar, ma'am?
You tell me by seeing the figure, you just tell me coplanar.
Same
Ma'am,
size.
which never meet.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Am I clear, children? Anyone have doubt here?
No,
No, ma'am.
Coplanar in the sense the same plane they say. When they are moving the lines which never meet each other, coplanar is in the same plane. If they are moving in the same plane, same surface, if they are moving, they'll never meet. That's the meaning, coplanar. They are coplanar means the same plane it is moving. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
They are not intersecting, they are on the same plane. Coplanar means they are on the same plane. In figure, L1 and L2 are parallel. Okay? This is they're asking, give definition for each of the following terms. Are there other terms that needs to be defined first? Okay? So anyone had doubt? This is all already we have learned in a previous class, parallel lines. So we'll see the next definition. Next
Yes,
definition
ma'am.
is perpendicular line.
The lines which intersect
Form
at
90
90
degrees.
degree.
Which form 90 degrees.
Yes, very good. Anybody else? Anybody else? Perpendicular lines. Here, according to this figure, two lines, that is AB and CD, lying the same plane are said to be perpendicular. If they form right angle, we write AB is perpendicular to CD. Is it clear, children? Or you can say, if one among two parallels is turned by 90, here we are getting 90 degree, the two lines become perpendicular to each other. Am I clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Even have doubt?
No, ma'am.
Next one, line segment.
Ma'am, which
Terminating
has
lines.
terminating lines.
Ma'am, which are
Very good.
terminating.
Which
The
Which
lines
are
has
which
a
are
start and
terminating.
an end.
Look, Euclid definition only. Line segment is terminating. Very
Ma'am,
good.
Euclid chapter,
Work,
ma'am.
fine. I did not say it is wrong. It is correct. Don't worry.
Ma'am,
Okay,
which
ma'am.
have two ending points.
Very good. A line segment is a part of a line. When two distinct points, say A and B, on a line are given, then the part of this line with end points A and B is called line segment. The line segment is a part of a line. Okay. So when we are giving two end points for that particular thing, that is the thing that has a line segment. Am I clear, children? Or somebody said here there is two end points. So in grade 5, we have learned the basic definitions for line segment. It has two end points. We can draw it on the paper. How to represent all those things we have given, right? It is named as line segment AB. AB and BA, both we can read. AB and BA did the same line segment. So all these things, abbreviations you have learned in your grade 5. Basic definitions. Anyone have doubt with the definition of line segment, children?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Next one is radius of circle.
The straight line from the
From the
center of
center
the
of
circle
the
half
to the
of a diameter.
Any
circumference.
part of the circumference.
Half of diameter.
The line segment which one end point at the center and the other at the point on the circle.
Circumference.
Circumference.
Yes, circumference. This is what the radius of children.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
One is
ma'am.
center,
Yes, ma'am.
the other one on the boundary.
Textbook can close continue.
The distance from the center to a point on the circle is called the radius of the circle. OP is a center from this particular figure. Any doubt in this radius of circle, children?
No, ma'am.
Next, I'll move on to the meaning of a square.
Yes,
ma'am.
Ma'am, which have all the sides equal, forming 90
equals to
degrees.
90 degree.
Very good. All sides are equal.
Diagonals cut at 90 degree.
Oh, you are started telling the properties. If I allowed to say means all properties of squares, you say. A quadrilateral in which all four angles are right angle and all four sides are equal is called a square. Here in the figure, ABC is a square. So, Charan, the diagonals are equal. All those things will come in a
Properties.
So,
Okay,
say
ma'am.
all sides are equal and all the angles are 90 degree in a
Okay.
quadrilateral, particularly in a quadrilateral, because square is a part of, it's a type of quadrilateral, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's a special type of parallelogram. Parallel is a type of quadrilateral that already we had discussed in the previous class. So anyone have doubt with this definition, children?
No, ma'am.
So if they're asking for 1 mark or 2 mark, just roughly one diagram you draw and just explain to that. Okay?
Ma'am, while writing in notebook, should draw the diagrams, ma'am.
Yeah, draw and explain. That will be easy for you to understand when you are going to that notes. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Next,
Okay.
we'll go for the third question. Consider two postulates given below. Given first question. Given any two distinct points A and B, there exists a third point C which is in between A and B. This is the first question of this third one. Second one, there exists at least 3 points that are not on same line. Do these postulates contain any undefined term? Are these postulates consistent? Do they follow from Euclid's postulates? Explain.
The postulate 5.
First one, there are several undefined terms which students should list. There are consistent because they deal with two different solutions. So first one I say, children,
Situation.
here AB is a straight line. Here given any two distinct point A and B, there exists a third point which is between C. This you can see. What this one says that given 2 points A and B, there is a point C lying on the same line between them. So here AB is a straight line. Yes. Just understand this question. Given any two distinct point, A and B are two distinct point. There exists a third point C which is in between A and B. Between A and B, there are infinitely many lines are there, right? So we know that AB is a straight line. So we can insert C over there, right? Says that given 2 points A and B, there is a point C lying on the line in between them. Just show with the figure. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Second one, there exists at least 3 points that are not on the same line. So just imagine, children, this A, B, C, if they are all three are not the same line means, so what will happen?
Triangle.
Not a straight line.
We are not getting a straight line, right? What it says, A and B we can take, C not lying on the line through A and B. These postulates do not follow from Euclid postulates. So they are telling there exists at least 3 points that are not on same line. I hope I'm clear here. Any doubt, children? We can take C not lying on the line through A and B. So the postulate do not follow the Euclid postulates. Here you can go to the postulates, children. That's why postulates only you by head. They may ask questions based on axiom. Only postulates they'll ask you to write any 2 postulate, write any 3 postulate like that.